Favorite Jeff, come on.
Pandemic.
I can't believe you're not thinking of anybody named
Jeff
Jeff.
Goldblum?
Yes, that's
Okay.
my favorite Jeff.
Okay.
I love his
must go
speaking style.
faster. Must go faster.
No, I just love it. The dinosaurs are running around everywhere. You got to watch out for that Tom Vasselraptor.
Now that's pretty good. That's your say. It's almost a little bit of a McConaughey you got in there.
It is. It's kind of a McConaughey / Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, it's good. Do it again.
A seal of approval.
So
You don't ever want to get in a fight with a dinosaur. You'll end up you'll just end up getting your ass kicked.
Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
Before we proceed with the hilarity that's no doubt to ensue with this podcast, couple of things real quick. One, I believe sometime in the coming days, We're Not Wizards had us on. Richard Simpson, a very nice fellow, had me and Jerry on. So if you want to hear more of us, you can hear us make fools of ourselves on We're Not Wizards with Richard Simpson. Check it out. Also, the sound on this episode, I don't know what happened, is a little weird, but it's only for a few minutes. At about the, depending on how long I record this, it was about the 7-minute mark. It's whenever Jerry says, well, I wanted to talk about a game, and he starts talking about Wonderful World. Then the sound clears up. Not sure what happened. It may not even be noticeable to you. It probably is. It's not bad, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew, that we knew, that something sounded weird. Anyway, enjoy the show. Go.
Why is it so quiet in here?
Go, Jerry.
I wanted to talk about something that was on my mind. This is the Board Game Snob podcast. This isn't our 100th episode.
This guy being, hey, what's up? What's going on there, buddy?
No, it's not our 100th episode.
I'm coming into this one high energy. I was a little low energy last time.
I'm still low energy. I don't need a lot of energy. My mitochondria fires.
I need it.
At a pretty consistent rate.
Gina often tells me, apparently President Trump called somebody low energy.
Mm-hmm.
And Gina has used that, and she uses it on me quite frequently. You're low energy. When I'm just sitting on the couch watching TV. That's what I like to do. So sue me. Actually, don't sue me. What if someone actually, hey, excuse me, sir. You're under litigation for sitting on the couch.
We charge you with low energy. But by charging you, wouldn't that give you energy? It's kind of a weird thing.
We're charging you with sloth. One of the 7 deadly sins.
Is it deadly?
It can be. If you sit on that couch too long, arteries going to clog. Actually, there has been like video gamers that have sat for too long, causing blood clots. Then they stand up, and it kills them.
That happens. That's why I fear for Enrique. What were you about to say? You had some of that banter. Can't wait. Can't wait for that banter.
No, it wasn't banter. I was looking up. Okay, I recently watched what was it? I watched a movie. It was a buddy cop movie. Bad Boys. It came on TV.
What you gonna do?
I love buddy cop movies. Love it.
I
love them. Why?
Because it's cliche and it's the same old.
You hate everything.
I do. Go ahead, though. Don't let me rain on your parade.
We're buddies.
But we're not cops.
This is a buddy board game show.
You would be a terrible cop.
Why? You don't know me.
You don't have any deductive skills.
Whatever.
You can't shoot. You can't run.
Hey, you've never seen me on Call of Duty.
Oh, what's your KDR? Oh yeah, I got you. I know how the kids talk. I played Call of Duty once just to make sure I knew.
I got crazy legit KDR, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, my point was, so I look up best buddy cop movies because I like, basically anything Jackie Chan does. He's got, Chris Tucker. Who's that guy?
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson. Yeah. Shanghai Nights, Shanghai Noon.
Oh, wow. Wilson.
Oh, wow. Wilson. 90% excited or 10% scared. Or maybe it's 90% scared and 10% excited. What's that from?
Shanghai Nights.
Armageddon.
I don't even remember that. I don't remember Armageddon very well. I forget he's in it because he died so quickly.
He dies very quickly. It may have been one of his first few shows. Yes, we call movies shows here in the South, apparently. But anyway, again, back to my original point. They had freaking 7 on there. It's like one of the top best buddy cop. When I think of buddy cop shows, I'm thinking like funny, witty, having a good time.
Not what's in the box.
Not
what's in the box?
7. 7's like one of the most disturbing movies ever. They kill his wife and put her head in a box.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Wow. I don't know where I'm going with that. Yeah, that's not a good buddy cop movie.
No, it's not. That's like calling Silence of the Lambs a buddy cop show. You got Clarice and Hannibal. They're making a prequel. No, they're making a sequel to Clarice. They're making a TV show called Clarice post Silence of the Lambs, but obviously I don't think it's Jodie Foster going to be in it.
I'll watch that.
Where is Jodie Foster? I haven't seen her in a long time. Did she retire?
Drink a nice Chianti and watch that.
Mm-hmm.
She did because she has that one facial expression. And I think they've realized that facial expression couldn't be utilized a lot. And then that Christian, that girl off Twilight came in.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, kind of took her job. She took her job.
Pursed lips.
Yeah, you got to have that.
Consternation.
Consternation?
Yes.
I think that's a group of eagles, isn't it?
Consternation.
I can't remember. That's what happens when she becomes queen, isn't it?
Yes. This is the consternation of Her Majesty.
And the Pope shows up, puts the crown on.
That's exactly. Pope
Benedict Cumberpatch.
Pope Benedict Cumberpatch. Yeah. People listen to us for facts.
Well, I have a game I want to talk about, actually, and it's one that I played last night solo. It is a game that I bypassed at BGG.
Solo, meaning by yourself. Just for the layman out there.
What are you drinking?
Martini. Shaken,
what kind?
Not stirred. It's gin, Tanqueray, whatever the cheapest bulk-sized gin I can buy is. I buy them in 55-gallon drums if I can.
That Tanqueray's rough, man.
Just tap into it and, I put enough vermouth and olive juice and a little splash of lemon. I'm good to go.
Yeah. See, you're drinking it out of a growler. That's what I was kind of worried about. You got a 32-ounce margarita.
I got a big martini. Gulp. A big gulp martini.
A big gulp martini. I think you got something going on there. When you want to feel classy, but you're a hillbilly. Give me one of them 64 ounces.
I don't like martini glasses. I don't like the shape. They're top heavy. It's a big old long stem. It's a big long stem, and it's just this big funnel shape at the top, and I don't know. I don't like them.
I don't like them sticks or stems. I like that icky for all you 90s rappers out there. I'm trying to get my mic set up. I'm sorry, my sound's goofing off on me.
You sound good over here.
I have a game I want to talk about. Thank you for properly making a martini with gin, as it should be, not vodka.
Yeah, you turned me on to the gin, and I haven't gone back.
Yeah, I really like gin. Is actually to me, it's
That's the name of your wife, isn't it? Gin.
Yeah. It's much superior to vodka.
Hey, guess what? Gina just started vacuuming. Are we podcasting? Of course. Time to vacuum.
Time to vacuum. Of course. I mean, that's just what you
I'll
do.
silence my microphone every time I get a chance.
I just assume you must lay on the floor because anytime you go into our game room, that's when she starts vacuuming. So I just assume other times you're just sprawled out on the floor where she can't vacuum.
I'm just tracking mud through the house, and then she vacuums as soon as I leave.
I can hear that vacuuming from here.
I know, but I'll delete most of it. I forgot what I was going to say, so continue on.
The game. Oh,
I'll keep drinking. I'll forget pretty much everything.
Just let me make sure I make this statement. One, gin is superior to vodka. I don't know why people drink vodka. You should just drink gin.
Vodka is flavorless. It's just. I mean, you can get flavored vodka, but I'm speaking out of ignorance because I know there's a whole country that predominantly relies on vodka, but I just don't get vodka. It tastes like rubbing alcohol to me.
The key word there that you used is rely.
That's true.
If you are a listener and you know of a good vodka and a reason for which I should drink it, I'm about to make an alcohol run. And so boardgamesnobs@gmail.com. Let me know. Anyways, so the game that I played last night solo, a game that I tried to avoid, it did not look interesting to me. I heard a lot of people say good things about it. A lot of people talked about it. It was one that I finally decided I'm going to play just for my own edification. But it's a wonderful world.
Oh, I was going, what a wonderful world.
Yes. And so I know I finally had to break down and play it in between our segments here. And it is been described as a Seven Wonders.
It is been described. That's true.
Seven Wonders Century Spice Road type game. Kind of smacks of Imperial Settlers a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, of course, none of those interest me that much. I'll back up and say that Seven Wonders is
you
amazing.
Back that thing on up.
Well, I'll back it up.
There you go.
Because one of the Seven Wonders of board games is Seven Wonders. I think it's an amazing game in terms of its design. I can't think of a game that can play 3 or 7 players as quickly as that. It's deck building. It's not deck building. It's drafting, and I don't like drafting.
Yeah.
And Seven Wonders is a great game.
Hey, instead of telling us things you don't like, I think it'd be faster to tell us something you do like. Every mechanism you mention, you don't like it.
Well, I'm a snob. I'm distinguished, and here's what so all right, I'll do that. I will tell you something I do like. I like It's a Wonderful World.
Oh, wow! What about it? It's so similar to these other games you don't care for, but why is it different?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So, all right. So first
Quick
off,
question.
I read the rule
How much gin did you have when you were playing it? That may have a bearing.
I have a rule about learning a new game.
This is the best game I've ever played.
I have a rule. I don't drink while I'm learning a game.
Ah, there you go.
Because I end up teaching it wrong later and missing key aspects of the game. It's a Wonderful World. It perplexes me.
So you're saying you really like it?
Well, let me say this. I played it 3 times solo already.
Wow. How long a game is it solo?
It's not very long. It's about 20 to 30 minutes for me. And it is it's a good. Nice solo. It's the type of solo I like to see in big board games that aren't meant to be played solo.
Yeah.
It's the type of solo that lets you experience the game and learn its strategies. And also playing it solo will make you a better multiplayer.
Does it have a point that you need to get to be good, or what's winning?
It actually has 2 different solo variants. There's the plain solo variant where it says if you get below 60, you suck. Above 60, you're good. Above 80, you're great. Above 100, you're a god. And
wow!
It says that actually.
So your ego might be severely bruised or enhanced, depending on how you go in this game.
And the second variant is it has specific scenarios that say, okay, put these cards in your tableau. you have to build these cards, have these cards built and added into your empire before the end of the game. And then, if you've done that, then score and see where you're at. And it teaches you specifically which cards work off each other in combo. And so I have lost every game, every single game I've played, which to me is a sign of a good solo. If I don't blow it away when I first play it, there means there's an in-depth strategy to it somewhere that I'm just not picking up on.
I kind of don't like it when I beat a game solo, at least in the first 5 turns. Especially the first turn. Like, if I was to beat... There was something I'm not even going to try and pretend I know what I played. But there's been games I've played solo, and it's like, oh, yeah, you won. I'm like, that was like the 3rd time I tried. It's like not a very high bar.
I remember the first time I won the vanilla Pandemic, the base game of Pandemic, by myself, soloing it, and I felt like I had accomplished something because that game beat me so soundly. I then remember playing Pandemic Fall of Rome and beating it 3 times solo and thought, this is insane. This is way too easy.
Yeah, I remember you complaining about that.
Yeah.
Now, a vanilla Pandemic sounds like a pandemic I could get behind. I don't want any diseases, but I will take some vanilla.
What does that mean? Is everybody wear parachute pants? That spiked up hair?
T-shirts.
Does everybody start turning taupe?
As long as it's...
What is that? Vanilla Pandemic?
As long as it's not artificial. Don't want to mess with those anuses.
Oh, it's right. Oh, that was callback.
VBA
so,
in the house tonight.
And It's a Wonderful World. The multiplayer game is you take 7 cards and you pass them around the table and you draft them. Very much like Seven Wonders. And then, very simply, the mechanisms are you have a card in your hand, you can play it down into your construction area, or you discard it and you just get the resources off of it. And the resources are these colored cubes that are all out in the middle, and you're just trying to satisfy these cubes on this card to have it built. And so it's like, all right, I'm going to build this military base, and it requires 2 gray and 1 black cube. And so it's out in my construction area. And then I'm looking at my hand, I'm going, okay, I'm going to get rid of this card because it gives me a black cube. I'm going to put that black cube on my military base. Oh, I'm going to get rid of this card because it gives me a gray cube. I'm going to put it on my military base.
I love explanations over the internet.
And it's cube pushing. It's simple cube pushing.
Push it a cube.
And it all happens simultaneously in the multiplayer game because you can't affect each other while you're doing it. You're just doing your thing. You're all just sitting there shuffling your cards around. So the only player interaction comes from that drafting, which doesn't seem like that would be very engaging, but I haven't played the multiplayer, so there you go. And then you simply go into a production round where the cards that you have built are on top of your little city that you have, and it just produces those cubes, and you put those cubes in the cards. You do that for 4 rounds, the game's over.
Oh, good. There's another one that people talk about being similar to, I believe, Seven Wonders, and that's that Hadara. And like lots of people like it, and I wonder if the same might be true of it. Like me and you have kind of like turned our noses up at it because it was related to as something similar to Seven Wonders, which, like you said, we don't mind Seven Wonders, but it's just not our cup of tea, really. But maybe it's another wonderful world, and we're like, you know what? This is similar, but it's better. We like it.
Well, I will say this: I have not played It's a Wonderful World other than solo. If I had to pick it right now over Seven Wonders, my thoughts on it against Seven Wonders and Century Spice Road, and it's very similar to those two. I prefer this over them, obviously.
Well, I'm sure I will too, because miraculously our tastes align quite a bit.
I'm just shocked that I like it so much solo. Well, and the way that it gets around the drafting in the solo is very interesting. You have you separate these decks out, and on your turn, you just pick this deck up of cards, and you can discard some of those cards to draw some cards from the main deck to find trying to dig for cards, trying to find the card that you want. You just do this over so many rounds, and then you score. But you're very much trying to build the right cards and get rid of the ones you don't want. It's just it's very, very simple, but the way that the cards combo is very interesting.
Did you know the word discard has the word card in it?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that interesting?
Is this banter? This banter section. Your banter sections have gone down terribly so.
They've been affected by the pandemic. I wanted a quick shout out to Bill Jazzer. He sent us an email.
That's not his
regarding our Star Wars RPG podcast.
Does he have jazzer hands?
Yeah, I'm sure he does. It says, Snobs, I just listened to the 2 Star Wars RPG episodes. Very funny. Of course. If you ever think of doing this again, may I suggest Paranoia RPG, which is played strictly for laughs. Take care and be safe, Bill. I've never heard of Paranoia RPG. Have you? But apparently
can't say I have either.
I mean, it's played strictly for laughs, but that's pretty much what we did to the Star Wars RPG. We were riding tauntauns and giant chickens or something. I can't even remember.
You killed a cat.
Killed a cat. That's right. I killed the cat.
You killed the cat.
Kiki. I wanted to say.
And that cat's coming along fabulously. I'm painting them both differently. Can you see this? Can you tell the intense detail on that cat?
Yeah. You do got it painted. Is that from Imperial Assault?
Yeah, that's from Imperial Assault. He's not done yet. I've still got to do some details on him. I primed him black. I primed this one white. And the color's more vibrant on this one, and I'm liking it better. And so it started off, I primed him a different base, and so I'm trying that out. But I really like that. It looked like it'd be a pain to paint. But I've got him knocked out. I got the... you
got a bunch of those. Well, we're going to have to play Imperial Assault one of these days.
I know. By the time this lockdown's over, I'm going to have the Imperial Assault thing done.
Okay, so we also had a winner for our Secret Cabal. I spun a virtual wheel, and Devin Harris won.
For our Secret Cabal?
Oh, wait. What? Oh,
For our what?
I'm looking at his email, and he mentions it.
Go ahead, Steve. Look, Stronghold Games makes the best games ever.
Sponsored by Stronghold. No, Steve's not a fan of ours. Says, he said, woohoo, I'm so excited to be a winner. I bought some Proper 12 yesterday that must have sent out the good vibes. There you go. But honestly, okay, now he goes into a lot of flattery of us, which I appreciate very much. He talks about how great we are. But he says, you two are the type of people that I want to have a drink with. Sure, attending a Secret Cabal, meetup with a few hundred people would be fun, but I'd rather be sitting at a table shooting I'll edit this for family purposes, the crap with you guys. And then, Devin Harris won a used and abused copy of Sashi and Sashi Coffee Roasters. And then we just got an email from the Soul Train. This is regarding my pod solo. So I may have to just break off on my own, Jerry. This may be it for Board Game Snobs.
Go ahead, Justin Timberlake.
He said, I won't leave you, Joey Fat One.
I need alone.
He said, Gabi, best episode ever. That's what he said. That's what he said. Best episode. I don't need you. You're dragging me down.
I'm sure he meant your best solo episode.
Naomi and I were in tears on our drive around Seattle. See, I don't know if those are sad tears or happy tears. Zoinka, autograph with a note would be ideal. So, sadly, Soul Train, you missed the boat a little bit. That's already been given away. But Jerry does have a copy, and he said he'd give it to somebody he likes. So,
I already sent Soul Train something.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, I'm giving away my Stronghold Games edition of Coffee
Sponsored by Stronghold.
Sponsored by Stronghold Games.
Not really.
I gotta stop making fun of them. They have more fans than we do.
Yes. Yeah. I think we had like 9 or 10 emails for my roasters. And then somebody on our Facebook, John Williams, was he the conductor? Did you write the music for Star Wars? It is John William, no S. A singular William. John Bill.
I enjoy the plural William.
We enjoy multiple Williamses.
Congratulations to Jason Dinger. his game got picked up by none other than Stronghold Games.
Oh, yeah.
And Spielworks.
Yeah.
So, that'll be interesting to see his fishing game.
I do have another, did you know?
Hit me with it.
Did you know the Empire State Building was originally designed to be what?
It was originally designed to be like a radio tower, wasn't it, or something like that?
Well, this says, according to Ranker.com, a blimp airport.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Not a Zeppelin airport?
They've been calling them didgeridoos. Derringers? Something.
Didgeridoos is an Australian thing. Didgeridoos is a thing that goes...
Yes. Those are flying in. You can hear them coming a mile away. Here comes another one.
Didgeridoos are highly underrated air instrument.
Yes. Thank you.
Get it? What? What'd you say?
All right, moving on. Hidden above its 102nd floor, the Empire State Building has a historical secret, a blimp parking spot. In the late 1920s, as Germany apparently, I guess Germany kind of got the whole blimp thing going.
Didn't take off. Hindenburg joke, too soon.
But apparently it says the mast only ever saw 3 minutes of genuine connection with a blimp before the project was skipped over and forgotten altogether. The Hindenburg did not help.
No.
What I know most about the Hindenburg disaster is based on the TV show Time.
The Hindenburg disaster.
No. Time is that one where they like went back and forth in that big sphere?
Sphere?
A sphere? They went back and forth.
The Michael Crichton book, Sphere?
No. They were going back and forth trying to protect time from like this other group of people that was like trying to ruin stuff. And you're like, who's what? Who's good? Time something. Timeline?
Time
no.
Sphere.
Oh my God. I can't
don't
think of the
know.
name of the show.
I just can barely say Sphere.
Time cops. Time. Hey, what is your favorite time travel movie?
Ooh, movie or show?
Movie. Well,
Movie?
I mean,
Besides Back to the Future,
there's not that many time travel shows. I mean, you have. I guess there are quite a few if you put in all the like Netflix stuff.
I watched the one that's the low budget movie Primer.
Yeah,
which was really good. But really, I mean, you have to really pay attention and kind of be into that type of thing. It's not for everybody.
No, it's
Primer
good.
was good.
It's like the most realistic version of time travel. It's like,
yeah,
this really doesn't turn out to be all that great.
Besides the fact that it's like two guys that build it in a storage building. What was the other one?
There's a bunch of them.
I'm sure I'm forgetting it. I'm sure there's one that's just I'm not coming up with. Speaking of time travel or time elements, they're talking about Tenet.
Yeah.
Christopher
That looks
Nolan's
interesting.
show coming in to theaters, and so I'll be interested in seeing if they actually do. Because that was like the one show I was wanting to see this year. I'll be interested in seeing if it comes around.
The one I really liked, and it bombed, but I liked what it did with it, was The Time Machine with Guy Pearce.
Oh, that ruined Guy Pearce's career. As did the dude that's the comedian that always tries to
Orlando
be serious.
Jones.
Orlando Jones. What is Orlando Jones doing?
Nothing. collecting furlough pay, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he got that check from Evolution with David Duchovny.
Yes.
And that's it. He's just sitting around.
He also did some other movie called Primeval about a giant crocodile inspired by true events.
And Lake Placid.
Pretty much. Frequency.
Oh, love Frequency.
That's
Didn't
a
I
good
beg
one.
you to show that to Sade?
Yes, but she has seen it.
I love Frequency. I saw that in the movie theater and was, man.
Frequency is good. But one of my favorites is, now I've lost it.
Lost in Space?
That's a good one too for humorous. Oh, not Lost in Space. Good Lord, no. Where is it? I'm looking for it. I'll cut all this out if I have to.
You go ahead, cut it out.
Cut that out. Where is it? It's not in here. I guess it's a Christopher Reeve movie. And basically he thinks himself to the past. I'm serious. It's like called Somewhere in Time or something.
He just sits around thinking about it. And
no, he goes into this room and they like take out anything from the present. They put him in I forget. It's probably early 1900s clothing. And he gets in that clothing. He lays down and just thinks himself to the past. And he falls in love. And then, at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, he reaches in his pocket and forgets he had a penny. He had a penny from the future in there. And it propels him back to the future. And he is just heartbroken. It's super sad. But it is a really cool movie.
I thought myself into the past once. I fell asleep in my dad's study and there was a big grandfather clock in there and I just sat there concentrating on it and I woke up at a Cracker Barrel. I bought some licorice and some cream soda and went on home. Oh, another great time travel movie.
Somewhere in Time. That's it. 1980.
One that that's way more heartbreaking than any Christopher Reeve penny love story.
What?
I'll tell you one right now. Are you ready for it? It's currently rated as one of his worst movies ever, but I will argue this to the death. You know why? Because like him, I am forever young. Mel Gibson. Have you ever watched that?
Which one?
Forever Young? Forever Young.
Yeah. I saw that in the theater here in Paris, Texas.
He's heartbroken because his girlfriend gets run over, so he does what anybody would do. He freezes himself.
He froze himself.
In his buddy's science project and then wakes up in the 90s.
Demolition Man. They're wanting to make a part 2.
The most unrealistic, the most realistic thing about Demolition Man was the fact that all the restaurants closed down but Taco Bell. But
true.
I think if they had to do it, it would probably be
They won
Chick-fil-A.
the fast food wars.
I think Chick-fil-A would survive.
And there's something about seashells and wiping yourself toilet paper wise.
Well, yeah. Didn't you ever go to anyone's bathrooms and they have those 3 seashells, little soap things?
Never seen it.
You've never seen that?
No.
Man, where are you from? Oh, you're from Brazil.
Brazil. Let's see. What else do I got here? Do you have something else?
Besides It's a Wonderful World, and that if I had to give a tentative rating on it prior to playing it multiplayer.
Tentative rating on it?
Yes, I would say that if you like Seven Wonders, if you like Century Spice Road and all that stuff, throw that stuff in the trash and go buy It's a Wonderful World. I think it actually is going to tickle part of your brain.
And by throw it in the trash, we mean give it to somebody that's just getting into gaming and they will think it's amazing.
Right. I actually thought that it's decent rule book, light on the rules, heavy on the combos. It's one of those things.
This is a topic of conversation that we had mentioned previously. Goes along with what I just said. Give it to somebody new in the game and they'll think it's amazing. We had discussed once upon a time about how people just getting into the hobby, you might ask them, what's the best game you've ever played? And they would say, what?
Oh, Catan,
Ticket to Ride, Carcassonne. But they have no frame of reference. It's very limited. Their experience, their knowledge is not where an experienced person, like you said with when we first started drinking whiskey, Evan Williams. I mean, that's the good cheap stuff right there, right? Now we know better.
We know better.
So to have people recommend things is you kind of have to know their experience as a gamer.
Right.
So
well, I think that's important. people's experience. I'm adjusting my camera so you can see me better.
Yeah, all I see is your luscious locks. Oh, I see a bare leg. Are you in shorts?
I'm naked.
I have never seen your leg.
What?
You wear khakis every time you come over here. I've never seen a bare leg.
But when I'm home, man, it's Speedos or nothing. I embrace that European living.
You are really white.
It's the vanilla virus.
You got the vanilla pandemic.
I don't go outside. I just take vitamin D.
There you go. You have a tanning bed? I can see you being a tanning bed type of guy. Do you remember those people? Wasn't that like a 90s thing? Everybody had tanning beds.
Yeah.
And you're like...
Which it was big in this part because, the sun.
Oh, yeah, because we don't have the sun.
We don't have the sun.
In the South.
So, like, people recommending games, I often will see someone who will say this game is awesome and so forth. And it tends to be people who are getting into the hobby, what they like at the time. It's whatever they've gotten their hands on. That's what they're very vocal about.
Yeah.
And I find that some people kind of plateau in what is their level of game. And there's nothing wrong with this. This is going to sound very gatekeeping, snobbish.
Hashtag gatekeeping.
If you like light games, there's nothing wrong with liking light games. There's nothing wrong with that's all that you enjoy. Or medium weight games or even heavy games, whatever it might be. But it's odd that it seems like the vast amount of people in the board game community like lighter games, light to midweight games rather than heavier games. And they tend to be very vocal about games that are just that, like Wingspan. There's nothing wrong with Wingspan.
Good game. Solid.
It's getting a lot of love from people who like these types of lighter games, just like Azul. People love Azul.
Good game.
And you've seen that throughout history of board games.
Those are like, what was the first one you mentioned? Oh, Wingspan. My wife hasn't played that, but I play Azul. That's one of the few games Gina likes playing. Mm-hmm. Her frame of reference is limited. She has played Ticket to Ride. She's played Carcassonne. And I've just said this on this podcast before. She says she doesn't like to think hard in games. She doesn't enjoy that. She wants to relax and take it easy. So
I love the think hard. I love the try hard.
Die Hard.
It's just me. With a vengeance. My wife's never watched Die Hard. She told me that last night. She wanted to watch a family show.
Did you say, okay,
with the kids? And I recommended Die Hard. And she's like, no. She says, I've never watched that. And we end up watching Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which, of course, my 8-year-old.
That's nearly the same thing.
My 8-year-old who's dyslexic read the title of the show when it came on, and she did not say Chitty Chitty. And that just made the show for me.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, I loved I will say, when I was your children's age, I freaking loved Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Wow.
Dick Van Dyke is a national treasure.
He was in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Mary Poppins. That's about all I can think of. But he was in more.
The other day, I told my wife, I said, I'm going to send you a dick pic. And I just sent a picture of Dick Van Dyke. And now that's like my thing. It's like at random times, I'll text her and say, I'm going to send you a dick pic. And it's followed up with Dick Van Dyke. I highly recommend doing this.
Hey, you know what? Every Richard I've ever known's a dick.
I don't know why that became a shorthanded term for that. I actually went to this website that was talking about names and the nickname for them. And that's very odd.
Like William. Why is it Bill and not Will?
I don't know.
I mean, there are guys you call Will, but like William has shortened to Bill. Richard, Dick, not even close.
I don't get it.
It's weird.
I don't get it. Who decides this?
Whenever we get on.
If you had to pick a shorthand for your name, what would it be? Oh, it is Gobby. That is your nickname. That is your shorthand. What would be my shorthand?
I call you Jer Bear.
That's weird. What would be the shorthand for? I don't know.
Jer. I mean, usually it's a shortened, but Gerald. Well, see, like your name is Gerald. Is your name Gerald?
No, you're right. Jerry is the shorthand of Gerald.
But it's the same amount of syllables. It makes no sense.
But Gerald sounds like you're like a insurance salesman. Jerry's like, yeah, back if you're in the 20s, you owned a pawn shop or a speakeasy.
I'm Gerald at the office, Jerry at the club.
Yeah. My wife one time said, she says, all the Jerrys I know are either sex offenders or pawn shop owners. She says, you're the youngest Jerry I've ever heard of. There's nobody named Jerry anymore. And it is. You never hear anybody with
Rick and Morty doesn't help with your name, by the way.
What?
Rick and Morty. Jerry. He's like...
Oh, Jerry. Rick and Morty did great. Rick and Morty brought it back.
Yeah, but he's just such a loser weirdo.
No, he's not. Jerry's not a loser.
Are you kidding me?
Jerry's keeping it together.
No.
He's fighting to keep his marriage, his job, all this stuff going around him.
Mm-mm.
Jerry's keeping it together. Jerry's the man. Chris Parnell.
So where are your children? They're not going in and out of the door.
I threatened them. I said, "You'll go outside. You find something to do, and don't come back in here."
There you go. The
Daddy
mowing the
needs some
yard.
quiet time.
Every time I ask what you're doing, Daddy's making me mow the yard.
Well, I give them scissors. We don't have a lawnmower. You're gonna cut the grass just like I had to cut the grass. No, they're outside. The neighbors have some cattle, and they're out looking at the cows, the baby cows, and all that come up to the backyard, back to the fence, and they're out there looking at the cows. Cows are such a majestic creature. They're so tasty, but they are such a majestic creature. Like
They are.
I don't know.
They are. I'll need to clear out some of my. I've discussed the Empire State Building.
Cows don't look smart, but I think if they were, I don't know. They seem like they got it figured out.
They're just thinking. I think they chew on grass and think.
I do too.
I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna be at the butcher's.
I'm gonna be a hamburger here. Not too long.
That's very dark. It's very, very dark.
Let me check this Twitter. See what I save things. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, did you see that the mountain from Game of Thrones just broke the deadlift record?
I saw that, like 1,000 pounds or something like that.
1,105 pounds is what it says here on Twitter.
Could you imagine being that strong?
No, I cannot.
Well, I mean, do you lose? I've wondered.
He's like 6'9", and I don't know. He's just a.
And as somebody who could bench press all of 110, I would like to ask people who are that strong, because I used to squat. I used to do with my legs. Why are you laughing? Oh. No, you see, I used to cycle a lot, and so that's why my thighs are so I've got these massive Thigh Master Crusher watermelon with my thighs.
Oh, yeah?
I used to cycle.
That's not what I'm seeing from this vantage
that's
point.
That's my calves. If you see my thighs, look at that. Look at that.
Please,
you see that calf muscle right there? Look at that right there. Look at that. Look. Look through your camera and look at this. That is a well-defined calf muscle.
Some milky
People try
thighs.
to get that. So, anyways, I used to be able to squat and do the what you call it when you push with your
leg press
with your legs. Press.
Yes.
A lot. But like when you're that big and you can lift that much, do you have to tone it down when you're doing everyday activities? I mean, do you like try to open a bag of chips and just rip it in two?
Like Superman.
Do you try to open a Coke and just smash it? I mean, really, do you have to tone it down? You go to shake somebody's hand and you kill
these
them?
jar of pickles for me? Oh, crush. He just smashes the jar in his hands.
I mean, really, do you have to stop yourself from hurting somebody? That's what I'd like to know.
I don't think so. You're not superhuman.
So? Huh?
You're not superhuman. I mean, he kind of is, but
you're above average.
You are definitely above average.
1,100 pounds. You're telling me that man lifted a Volkswagen, and you're saying, "Oh, you're not superhuman." I think you are.
But he was like purposely putting forth extra effort. I mean,
it doesn't count. He was putting forth extra efforts.
If I put forth a lot of effort, I'm sure I could get there pretty shortly.
Get to 1,100 pounds?
Yes, in my weight, in my girth.
Oh, okay. I lifted Gummy.
I got off the couch. I lifted 1,100 pounds.
1,100 pounds.
I've always been afraid that I would eventually be one of those people that they like have to crane out of the house. As they cut the roof off.
Had to cut the roof off. Well, we got to get him. Here's the thing. It's like you call for an ambulance, and then when they're cutting the roof off and craning you out, as soon as you get outside, you're like, no, I don't need to go to the hospital. Where is Golden Corral?
Where is the nearest buffet?
I'm going to put them out of business.
I'm not far. I need to get myself together. This pandemic,
I wish you would.
This pandemic has not helped. We would think that Gina's vacuuming again. She never stops vacuuming.
That's what your problem is. You could lose weight if she'd stop vacuuming.
This is the thing. Gina works nonstop. Like, she's like her mother. I've said this before. She's always busy doing something. I am not. I am comfortable on the couch. She's just like, if she sits down, she's asleep. She's done. She's bored. But like, for me to sit down, like, that's my primary position. That's when I'm ready to relax and go to
assume the position.
Assume the position. Ready to watch TV.
Oh, man. I don't know. I think that I use this pandemic as a springboard for you've been riding your bike.
I rode it once.
Well, you rode it for 8 miles.
I should have rode it this weekend, but guess what? I didn't.
Well, maybe you need to get your act together.
I definitely do need to get my act together. But it's like, okay,
instead of it being 2:00 on a Sunday, drinking
a big
gin martinis and podcasting. Maybe that's your problem.
Hey. This is not my fault.
Maybe that's your problem. Hang on a second. Let me finish this up.
Are you drinking out of a Yeti?
I have a Yeti tumbler, and it keeps my ice super chill. And so what I like to do is put ice in it or get it cooled off. And then if I don't want a drink that has ice, I can pour it in it and it will chill it, but it won't dilute it.
Oh, everybody
Does that make
chill.
Sense? Yeah, I like it chilled, but I don't like it diluted.
Time to kick some ice.
Much like this conversation. Are we done?
I think so. I'm doing Arnold references I've already done, so I guess so. We've went fairly long.
I gotta eat my ice.
Okay,
crunching on ice.
When Jerry starts crunching on ice, it's time to tune out. I appreciate everybody that has written in here lately. I've tried to get our Facebook group going a little bit more, and it's doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Put your leg down.
Look at this thigh. Look at this calf muscle.
I don't want to see
this
your
is a
thigh.
great calf muscle.
It's a little too close to your groin. I can't adjust your camera.
No, this is my comfortable. You can't have me at my best or my worst. You can't have me at my best. This is what I'm like at home. This is me. I'm an essential worker. This is how I relax.
Oh, I'm so ready for this to be over so I can play a game with you and Enrique. I never thought I'd miss Enrique this much.
I don't know if he's even alive.
You said he was the other day.
I checked on him last week. I haven't been able to check on him this week.
All right, go check on your children. They're scissoring up your yard quite a bit.
They're doing a great job.
They probably chiseled out "send help" like so the airplanes can see as they cross over.
No, they're having a fun time.
I'm sure they are. All right, well, that's going to do it for this one. Until next time, I'll holler at you later, I guess.
Look at these thighs.
No, bye.
They're solid.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.